We didn't even come here with any intention of playing music or anything.
I met John Baker and Jim Rivers and those guys that had the band The French Broads, and
you saw that they were on a compilation that
yeah,
you were on.
So I played with them a couple of times, and then Jim and John and I just started recording a record, and then in the middle of all that, Susan woke up one day and said, well, I want to learn how to play bass, and 6 months later she was on stage, and we'd had a fairly solid lineup with Greg Horn and Don Coffey Jr. Greg went away to teach at guitar camp, and Don got real busy with his studio at the time. So we ended up with a couple of gigs, and Rodney Cash played drums, and that was pretty much, this was December '06, I just happened to remember. And after that, we decided to call it the Tim Lee 3, and that was that for the next 10 years. You move somewhere and you try to find your way into the scene, and you know, if you're truly going to be part of the scene, you want to do anything you can to make it better.
But one thing that we kind of realized immediately was that there were a lot of people who didn't know each other. Like there were different cliques of people all over the place, but nobody knew each other. And we thought that was just the weirdest thing.
It's true. I mean, they were separated either by like age group or genre or whatever, but we thought it was odd how this group of people didn't know this group of people. You know, they'd be like, oh, we've heard of them, but you're like, y'all live in the same town. How do you not know them, you know? And I think you just naturally, you want to see things grow and improve. And so you just, you know, if that means having a barbecue with 30 people in your backyard and people meet each other, then that's pretty, you know, organic, I think. So.
I think the Redistilled project had a lot to do with bringing different groups of people together. I don't even remember how it started.
The Redistilled project was, it just came from a discussion with Benny Smith, I think. It's just like, wouldn't this be a cool thing? And then several people got involved, and some studios donated time, and I think it was a lot of fun because people got to look and go, okay, what would we want to do? And just there were several meetings with Benny and whoever else at the corner lounge kicking it around, and till it all came to fruition. And
but I think that's, you know, getting back to, you know, getting various different groups of people to meet each other and hang out and get to know each other. I think the Redistilled project sort of helped all of that happen.
Benny Smith.
Benny Smith. He's a personality that I always feel like was in our lives almost before we even moved here, you know? And I know that's not possible, but since I can't pinpoint when or where we met him, it just seems like he was always part of our lives.
Naturally, you know, when you go to any town and you're looking for radio, you're going to search the left side of the dial if you're us, you know, and so you find what's there. You find your NPR station. You find you hope to find a college station, you know, because college radio is something that's always a big deal, you know, for me and both of us actually, you know, over all the years, but. Early on, we never lived anywhere that had college radio, that kind of college radio, and so you know, it was kind of exciting to find something like that.
And as much as we traveled, you know, before we moved here and when we moved here, you know, we would always listen to UTK when we were coming through here. Yeah. So you know, there's really not anywhere that's going to be playing local stuff on a regular basis as much as WUTK does. And that kind of support, you know, that's like, you know, in the 80s when college radio played, you know, all kinds of diverse stuff. And you never knew what you were gonna hear, you know, and that was valuable then. And in the same way that UTK is that way and plays that much local stuff, it's invaluable.
I think that's kind of unique also.
It is.
There are a lot of lot of great college radio stations and independent stations and whatever, but probably not that play that much local music. It's really rare. You know, you listen to an hour of UTK, you probably hear 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs by local artists, and I think that's pretty rare. You know, that a station supports local music that much. So it's you know, when we first moved here, there was kind of a little bit of a golden age of UTK was supporting stuff, but there were a lot of print outlets that wrote about music and that kind of thing that have, you know, most have gone away now because of, you know, modern. We learn everything on the internet instead of, you know, in print. And but
UTK remains.
Yeah, but yeah, it stays. You know, it's still doing that thing, and it's a damn good thing to do. So.